got put onto this album from my brother. I was listening to it and I was like, man, you got like the reggae feel, but then he's spitting some real stuff, like stuff that like it was going above my head. I had a double listen to the song, like.
Welcome to Message Reveal. Message Reveal identifies a vibe, a message, or a story told through lyrics of a song. And you guys, you know what you do. If you rock with me every Monday, you know how I get down. I always have a special guest. But before I tell you about my special guest, please, if you're new to this platform and you want to find out what Message Reveal is all about, please tap in, subscribe, and check us out on Monday at 7 p.m. Now, back to business. I feel like a song. Back to life.
Back
to reality.
There we go.
So, you guys, let me tell you about this awesome special guest that I have. One, he was born in the Bronx, New York, but he was raised right here in Las Vegas. Right. Yes. Number two, he is a police officer and he believes in giving back to the community. And we'll definitely talk to him about the things he's done to give back to the community. But last and definitely not least, he's a DJ. Pew, 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 pew. You guys, please put your hands together and welcome my special guest,
Justin Vasquez.
Vasquez, better known as DJ Vasquez. I'm sorry about that, but
you're fine.
Welcome. How are you?
I am good. I'm outstanding. I can't be no better. I'm blessed. And hopefully I'm highly favored.
Listen, you better claim that. You better claim that you're highly favored.
Right.
So I am so excited. I haven't had a DJ on, and we know the DJ sets the tone in the room. If the DJ is not on point, nothing else is on point. Everybody's leaving out the door.
Exactly.
So let's just go down memory lane. And one of the things that I noticed about you, even though you were raised in Vegas, the Bronx is where you developed your passion for music. So can you just tell me a little bit about your journey to get to become a DJ?
Yeah, absolutely. So it mainly started, I believe in 2008. I was in high school, and they would have a DJ, and this is here in Las Vegas. I went to Votech. It's a vocational school. I'm sure a lot of people know about Votech. I took up welding at the time, and I'm at lunch and I'm seeing Hot 97.5 used to come by with the DJs, and shout out to DJ Farrell, that's my boy. But he came by one day and I seen him spinning and scratching and mixing songs, and how you got to be involved. And it's not just, reading the crowd, but you really got to know what song comes next after what song to rock the party or rock the event or rock the venue, right? So I sat there and I noticed myself I sat there the whole time next to the DJ booth, and not on like any like weird stuff, but I was like, man, this is cool. Like I want to be this guy. You're the life of the party. So it started there, but then I went back to New York in 2010. I moved back for like 2 years. I was trying to become a firefighter, believe it or not. And I was in two Explorer FDNY Explorer programs. And one of my Explorer programs, my mentor, or the firefighter that was running the program, he was a DJ. He owned his own club. He was a firefighter. So I was like, man, like, this guy, I could relate. I want to be a DJ. I don't know about owning my own club, but he owned his own club in the Bronx. He DJ'd, and I said, hey man, like, I've been wanting to get into DJing. Like, can you help me out and provide me with some music? And at the time, I downloaded this DJ program called Tractor Studio Pro. and he ended up giving me a bunch of music, and I mean a bunch. I mean, I'm talking about reggae, New York reggae. I'm talking about salsa, merengue, bachata, reggaeton, hip hop, you name it. I had it, and it was all New York vibes. I was like, damn, this is cool. So I started mixing off this program off my computer. So long story short, I ended up leaving New York. I stood there for like 2 years, and I didn't love I didn't like it. I didn't love it or like it.
Oh,
The snow was crazy. Everyone's on top of each other. I remember being in New York when I was younger. I loved the snow. I couldn't wait to go outside and play in the snow. Now I'm jumping out of taxi cabs, talking about you got to jump out. I'm freezing at the bus stop, waiting for the bus. Like I was like, and I'm talking about full ski mask, bubble jacket, beanie, and I'm freezing. I said, I'll go back to Vegas and I'll be a firefighter there, right?
mm-hmm.
So I came back and I ended up buying my first turntables. They're called Tractor NS7, and it's and the program I still used Tractor at the time, and I was rocking just house parties. I was just doing house parties, and I went from house parties to like hookah lounges, and I had my own night at I had my own night at a hookah lounge up the block from my house. I can go there wherever. Shout out to Pops. He knows who I'm talking about. He used to be like, "Hey, come by and spin," and then it turned into like the weekend. And then we had our own parties, and then from there, I started killing downtown. Downtown is really where I got my name up. And I remember my buddies was like, "Man, you need to start getting paid for this." And I was like, "Nah, like I'm just trying to get my name up." So I was any chance I can get. Shout out to Sucio. He was booking me downtown, and it got to the point it got crazy. Some nights I'd be opening up at Oracle nightclub or Embassy nightclub, and then I closed the night out at downtown. Then I started getting gigs at like Town Square, Blue Martini, McFadden's, La Cantina, and I was DJing all over. And then life, and I had to do my thing. So
Wow. I love the fact that you gave us some background because what you're saying, before I say that, I just want to tell you this right here is the
yes.
invisible pew. You can't see them, I can't see them, but what you just said is teaching them a lesson. Something that you said, hey, I got to do it for free right now.
Mm-hmm.
And doing it for free, what you were doing, you were giving yourself a lesson, but giving them the opportunity to work with you so you can show what or showcase what you can do. A lot of times people are fresh out of something and they want to charge what the professionals are charging, ain't did nothing.
Exactly.
So I think that's very necessary. And I would say it from this standpoint, you got to put the work in to get there.
Absolutely.
Now, let me just say this. Now you don't do it for free. You charge,
I,
correct?
I charge. I charge. And it got to the point where, there was nights where it was frustrating, like they would promise something, and certain people wouldn't come through. So that's definitely the turn off to the DJing world, but especially when you're trying to make it as a local, there you're promised a time slot and you don't get the time slot. Maybe you're closing out the night now. So it was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of struggles, and that's why I tell people nowadays, like I still do gigs for free. I had DJ for 8 hours for the youth event, right? Because the youth to me mean a lot. And we'll get more into that later. And I'll explain why, and you'll have a better understanding why the youth means so much to me. But after that, I had Del Sol's homecoming dance, and that was another 3 hours, right? So I had to prepare myself for that as well. But I also now I get to charge, and I pay, I get paid out from doing something that I love from back in the day where I wasn't getting paid nothing. I was hustling. I was trying to get my name up, and now to this day, for instance, yesterday I went to the Aces game. I worked overtime, and DJ Joe Green, shout out to DJ Joe Green, one of the biggest DJs around. He DJs for the Golden Knights, any of the fights, the Aces, the Raiders. It's all love when he see me. Quez, what's up, Quez? And all love. Hey, you want to DJ at the Golden Knights game? It's a 6 minute set. I can get you in. I don't know why we haven't done this yet. So these guys respect me from back in the day. Whether I was getting paid or not, they didn't know that. Some of them did, right? but it's the love that and the dedication that I hours of downloading music, going through trash music, going through good music, going through, and practicing. I remember my dad used to yell at me, lower the music, this ain't no club. So it was hours of hours work, and it definitely paid off. And if you ask me back, I keep saying this to everyone, if you ask me back in the day if I'd become a cop, number one, I'd tell you no. I'll be
Mm.
like, hell no. Number two, if you ask me if you'd ever be a DJ as a cop or DJing for LVMPD or the commissioners or anything like that, I'd be like, nope, no chance.
Well, funny that you mention that. Let's just turn the tables a little
Yeah,
and say, let's give the perspective why. And I believe that's why you can relate to the community so much and why you give back to the community. So let's talk about your quest to, or how it landed in your lap to become a police officer. And
absolutely.
then let's talk about the different avenues you've given back, even with recently the youth conference that I met you at. So if you can give us a little bit of background.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I kind of told you, all my life, I mean, ever since I was little in New York, little kid, I would run outside to go see the fire truck fly by. Like, I hear the sirens down the street, I'm out there waving. Like, I was that kid. Always want to be a firefighter. Still to this day, as a police officer, I want to be a firefighter, right? It's
Wow.
crazy, and you don't. That's unheard of. If you're a police officer, you usually don't want to be a firefighter. If you're a firefighter, you probably don't want to be a police officer. So that's crazy to hear, right? And so I I was working security at Venetian and Palazzo for maybe 8 years. I said, man, like I'm working security, like I'm doing the thing. I wasn't the best at it, but it paid the bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was having fun. I was young, and my boys, two of my best friends, shout out Kabata and DJ. They're both nurses now, but back in the day, they're like Quez, and they all call me Quez, even though they're my friends. Like Quez, like you need to come just try out for Metro, and I was like, hell no. Hell no, I ain't gonna be no cop. And then they're like, come on, man, like I'm gonna do it. You should do it. And I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna be a firefighter. I don't, I'm gonna be a big
Mm-hmm.
DJ. That's all I cared about back then. And they're like, nah, you need to do it. So I ended up doing it. Like a few, in 2019, I think it was 2018, I tried out for it. I ended up passing the physical. I was a lot younger. I ended up passing the physical. And I was like, oh crap, I passed the test. There's a little test they give you. And then I ended up going through the background process. I passed that, and I was like, oh, this is real. Like,
No
and
turning back.
no turn right. And I'm trying to think about my future because I always did. I always did, and I think that's why I've been kind of successful. I don't want to say I'm totally successful, but that's why I've kind of been successful. I think about my future every day, every day. So I I'm at the point where I'm waiting for my background detective to tell me like, hey, you have academy date this day. Be ready. So I'm starting to work out. I'm running. I think I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this academy. They said, all right, you passed the backgrounds, your academy dates, November, I won't forget, November, I think 11th, 2019. I was like, oh, it's going to be cold out there. So I end up leaving Venetian Plaza. It was bittersweet, so many memories there. But I said, I need something that has a pension and that I could retire from. I was like, I'm not becoming a firefighter, but here I am a cop. I still get to help out. I still get to give back to the community, and I still get to roll lights and sirens, right? And I was like, I still get to live a dream out of. Maybe it's not what I wanted, but it's still in that realm. So I still go. Sometimes when there's fires that I hear on the radio, I'll go there. Maybe I can save a life, right? So it's funny that aspect of it, but that's what kind of got me into the police world. Now, I've been a cop for 5 years so far. I did like 3.5 in patrol, and I've done 2 in COP. So patrol is you answer calls for service. So let's say someone calls 911, I need help. You're the one going. They'll dispatch you, right? And then so the 2 years I did in COP is community oriented policing. I got called up to COP because they had a big walk in our area on Twain and University Center. If anyone knows that area, it's a rough area, rough camp, probably one of the most dangerous areas in Vegas, one of them. All right. So the sergeant, shout out to Sergeant Kimmin, he called, he calls me, he's like, hey, and I let him know, I expressed my interest. I was like, hey, I want to, can I come up to COP? I want to try it out, see what's up. And he's like, yeah, and I told him about me DJing and stuff. And he's like, you want to DJ this big walk? I was like, what? Like, you want me to DJ? So I ended up DJing this big walk. The sheriff came out. I mean, all types of resources came out for the community. And I ended up DJing this big walk, and it took off. I mean, I've DJed for Special Olympics, Down syndrome, all the commissioners. I've DJed at the F1 paddock, Las Vegas sign, you name it. I've DJed it, and I'm so blessed to have this opportunity to do this, and it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, and I'm stay busy, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds. And that's how I kind of got into that. Now, being in the COP aspect, you're kind of required to go to community related events, right? And then host your own events. So I took full opportunity of this, especially when I started becoming like the senior man of the squad. I was like, I got to step up. I got to start throwing my own events. So I believe my first event that I threw, there were several events, but the one that comes to mind that's big is Cambridge Rec Center. It was a Thanksgiving event, and I gave away, it had to be over 500 turkeys. And I focused on the homeless population and like a job resource fair. So I had all the unions come out because they hire felons. So I was focusing on that. I was focusing.
Which is, if you don't mind me interrupting, is very smart, because if you have a resource fair for the people there and the people that provide the resource cannot connect with the people, what is it for?
Yes, exactly. And that's why I did that. Because like, why I'm not going to bring out Walmart, or I don't, I'm not going to mention any, businesses, but I'm not going to bring out someone that is not hiring. Like, I want people to come out that you can, make this a career and get paid good money. And they don't mind having felons. And my area, like I told you, is rough. It's not,
Oh,
it,
I know where you locate. It's
yeah,
you have a
especially
mix of
Cambridge
everything.
Rec Center. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it focused on that, and it was amazing because there was, even the homeless people came in, and we took care of them as well. I've done backpack drives there for the youth. I was able to get, shout out to PEF teachers. They blessed me with over 200 backpacks, and then the rec center was able to provide as well. The Commissioner Tech Sagerbloom, and I was DJing. We had barbers come by, kind of like the youth event. We were cutting hair, giving away backpacks. But I've done several events over there. Shout out to Jessica from Parks and Recs. We worked well together over there. And then it just took off from there. I was fortunate enough to DJ at UNLV's football field, and I met with Coach Coop. Everyone knows Coach Coop. That's the man, right? Shout out to Coach Coop. And we clicked right away. And I said, Coop, man, like, I want to do like a youth football event. We got to get these youth involved, and it's been done before, but were you able to get like UNLV football out there, and some of those kids out there to help out, and they can talk to these kids and tell them what it's like to be a D1 running back or quarterback, or talk to these kids, and these are going to be troubled kids. So man, Coach Coop came out with the starting quarterback from last year, Hodge. He came out with all the wide receivers, some linemen, and he was dropping knowledge on these kids, running them through drills that he says that he gets paid for from professionals, a bunch of money. And he's like, but he's sweating. He's getting these kids going. And I thought I'm watching. I'm like, man, he didn't have to do this. And Hodge didn't have to come out. Hodge at the point was out with the Raiders. He was going to start I think summer camp with the Raiders, but he came out, and he's no longer part of UNLV. But that was cool to see them all out there and talk some some motivation into these kids and let them know that, it's hard work to get where
Yeah.
they're it's not nothing's given to them. So those are some little things that I was able to give back. There's so many. I mean, I can keep going. I know we have
No,
stuff to talk about.
well, we'll continue to dive in, but I must say, when you do, you and anybody else that gives back in some form or capacity in a sincere way, not just because of clickbait, you really want to give back, you are really blessing yourself, you're blessing your children, because now in turn, I believe somebody will bless your child on a different end, or someone you know. So I believe anything like that, it's very much an ecosystem. What you get back will come back to you in return. And those gentlemen that did that for the kids, as well as what you do, you get that back in return in so many levels. And it may not be the way you think it is, but it's still blessings wrapped up.
Absolutely, 100%. I feel that. I
Yeah.
feel that totally.
So come on, and I say this to all my guests. Music has turned me all the way out in a great way.
Okay. Every
And
gig.
what you say?
I
Say
said
it again.
every gig.
That's what I'm talking about. But I say all that to say, if you can identify a song that has either provided a blessing, distraction, or lesson. Now, before you answer, there's a couple of rules to this, okay?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Now, if you can sing, I need you to sing your throat box out, sir.
I wish I can sing. I can DJ. You want me to get the turntables out?
Well, if you can rap, I need you to come hard in the paint. I need you to do it like you do it.
I'll see what I could do. I'm not much, rapper or singer, but I could
Well,
definitely talk about some lyrics and stuff. I think I have some lyrics up. I did it just in case because, yeah, we could definitely talk about what I think about it and why I picked the song.
well, that's my last one, and we're on the same page. If you can't rap, if you can't sing, at least I need to feel it. In the streets they say stand 10 toes down. I need to feel it.
All
I
day.
need to feel what you're talking about. I need to hear the passion in it. So I'll go back to my original question. Lessons, distractions, or blessing? Can you tell me one of the three, excuse me. Do you have a song?
Yeah, I actually do, and I had to. I think that one I kept, but I almost changed it, and it's a blessing. And it's in the name of the title of the song, and this one hits home for me because Nas is from New York. I love Nas. I'm sure
Woo-hoo! I
y'all.
love me some Nas.
Nas is a legend, right? And then we got another legend, right? And we're gonna go with Damon Marley, right?
Okay,
Nas,
yes.
Nas and Damon Marley have a album called Distant Relatives. And I'll tell you a little backstory real quick. I got put onto this album from my brother. I was listening to it and I was like, man, you got like the reggae feel, but then he's spitting some real stuff, like stuff that it was going above my head. I had a double listen to the song, like look up the lyrics. But if you get a chance to listen to Distant Relatives by Damian Marley and Nas, please do.
Yes.
um but my song that I picked was Count Your Blessings. Isn't that crazy? Is right in the
Yes.
and you that's one of is it blessings, lessons? I was like distractions. I don't want to do distractions. I don't want to do lessons, but blessings. Count your blessings. And awesome song. If you get a chance to listen to it, please do. And that means a lot to me. Count your blessings. A lot of people, we get complacent or we get upset about things that we can't control, but count your blessings. Count what you do have. Count what you know count your blessings. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, it says it.
No, I like
Be
that.
grateful for what you have.
And that's the thing that I think so many times we forget about all the things, yes, right now everything is about distraction, and we're looking at, oh, this is wrong and that, but how many you have a ton of blessings? Can you move your legs? Can you walk? Do you have a place to stay? Don't take those things for granted. look at that as a blessing. And yes, it may be one thing that is distracting you, but it is other blessings around. And I think that's when you have high elevation where you can say, yeah, this may not be where I'm at right now, but look at all the other blessings I have around me.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, you hit that on the point. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better. But yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. Count your blessings. And like I said, definitely listen to Damon Marley and what he says, and then Nas goes in right after him. So if you guys could listen to this song, please do. Listen to the whole album.
Yes, for sure. That's what I'm talking about. I love to hear stories and things around that I don't even know about. I get to check it out when I get off, like literally when I get off, I'm like, oh, let me look that up and see what it's all about.
Yeah.
So definitely thank you for talking about that. So let's just turn the tables a little and talk about what a DJ, you talked about your background, your passion, but let's talk about what a DJ really provides. They are the center of a party, a wedding, a game. So I'm saying all this to say, if you're in a new environment, like you're invited to go do something, you don't know what the crowd is. What's your banger song you gonna start off with that you gonna get people attention where they like, oh, okay, the DJ is doing that.
A banger song. Man, I like to start off with R&B just to like. I
Pew,
mean,
pew, pew,
you're talking
pew.
about like, and just you, and it's not to get the part. If you're talking about like getting the party popping and all that stuff, I like to just feel the vibe out. Like, are they rocking with the R&B like too close by next, or wifey, or um I mean, just like, Return of the Mac, like see, this is how we do it, just like jams like that. And then, you can elevate from there. And if they ain't feeling, you got to read the room. I mean, that's a hard question because it could be a bunch of people that want country music. So what country song banger are you gonna play? You can't play like a hip hop R&B song because they might not feel it.
Yeah,
So I try to read the room and see what kind of event I'm at. Um,
yeah.
and then I'll throw some on. If they ain't feeling it, I'll go somewhere else and see. Maybe it's not hip hop, maybe it ain't R&B, maybe it's a house music song. So I try to feel the room out. That's a hard question.
No, no, I get it. I definitely get it because you have to be in a situation. But more than anything, what I was trying to pull out from
Hmm.
you is that you set your music up or you put something on, and it's really just a filler to go to the next one. And that's more of what I'm trying to get the audience to understand that you may start off with something that you think is super dope, but you realize it's not, people are not stopping, they're not paying attention, so you go on to the next. So you kind of have some backups,
Yeah.
correct?
So and I can explain something real quick. As a DJ in a club, if you're opening up, because I was at that point, when you're opening up, you don't want to play all the bangers because the DJ that's coming after you, he ain't gonna really play the bangers too. But the DJ that's in the prime time spot, he's playing all the bangers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So if you rob him of his set, it's like, dude, like you ain't in. What'd you do? Like now
Wait,
I
wait,
can't.
wait. This is a pause moment,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
I have a
absolutely.
pause moment. And the reason why I'm saying the pause moment, I had no idea. So it's a community of respect, so to speak.
Yes.
Like, hey, I'm going to close the show out, so you better not play that banger, but you better bring something that still gets the attention.
Exactly. And the energy's got to go, especially in the club. It's got to be go, 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 go. Like there's all gas, no brakes. So and if that's bangers, you got to play from like 2000s, or if it's an old school set, you better come with some bangers, and that's how it is, especially in club. Now the youth conference, I could go all over the map. I could play island reggae, I can play, I could play hip hop, I could play R&B, I could play whatever because it's we're not. I mean, although, and I have bangers so that I can get them dancing, Cupid shuffle, cha cha slide, all that stuff. That's a
Oh, you
youth
was
event.
doing it. You
You
was
know what I
doing it.
mean?
That's why I
But
asked you.
when you're in the club, you got to switch up and you got to really focus on what you're playing whatever gig you're doing, right? But in the club, you really got to focus on what you're playing. You don't want to play all the bangers that the prime time DJ, especially a good DJ, it's gonna play because now you're repeating the songs. People are like, oh man, they already played this song tonight. Like we ain't got nothing new. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So you just gotta be careful. And then if you want DJs to respect you, like, yo, Quez could still rock it even if he opens or closes the night.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
called being a professional, because some people think about, we'll just talk about entertainers. I've heard stories after stories where entertainers wanted to go on first
Mhm.
because they know they would not get the love if they went on behind a particular entertainer. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
didn't know that kind of format or that energy persists in DJing. So now I'm more aware of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's get back into this music boat and let's talk about you as a child. Can you identify a song that you have played all your life? You like, oh, this is a banger. Then one day you like, wait 1 minute. I've been singing this song all this time and I realize it's something else. Can you identify a song?
I wouldn't say, I mean, it is still a banger, especially at a lot of my community events, especially with the youth, certain events. But this was a hard one. This was a funny one because I was like, man, what songs did I used to sing? And not even all the time, but I used to, like, the lyrics of it. And I'm still trying to figure out who let the dogs out by Baha Man.
Uh-uh.
But from what I'm getting from this, who let the dogs out means like who let these dogs out, who let these men out treat these women bad, who that they acting like dogs. The whole time I'm thinking as I'm growing up, who let the dogs out, right? I'm like, who? I'm still trying to figure out who let the dogs out. Like, what are we
Yes.
talking about? Who let the dogs out? They need to figure out who let the dogs out. But yeah, so who let the dogs out? Men sometimes can be ugly and be dogs. So I think that's what they were referring to. And I looked it up too. So I was like, that's perfect. I mean, that's a perfect I remember back in the day, who let the dogs out? And I still, you know what I'm saying? So I still to this day play that song and now I know the meaning behind it, and I know that no one let the dogs out. They're talking about,
The behavior, the energy of the men.
yep,
And I'm glad you brought that
exactly.
up because that's a song just automatically here. Ruth, who let the
Right.
dogs out? And
I'm thinking
everybody
about
but
dogs. Like, what dogs did they let out?
but that's the beauty of songs. Sometimes you know exactly what it is. Sometimes as you grow and become mature, you go, oh, I understand what it is. Or the writer makes it so ambiguous that you just come up with your own meaning. But again, I like that you have figured it out that it's about the energy and the behavior of men
Exactly.
being quote unquote dogs.
Dogs. Yep. It's
So
crazy.
So let's also go back to, I know you've mentioned, I think you mentioned one, but you did a residency at Artesian
So I was at Artisan. I was at Body English was my biggest one. I'll never ever
at the
forget
Hard
that.
Rock.
Yeah, rest in peace to my boy Dorian. He just passed not too long ago, but he ended up getting me that gig, and I'll never ever ever forget that gig.
Mm,
The way I felt, the feeling the whole night, and just like when I DJ'd that gig, and it was only for an hour. I only got an hour set. I only got paid $100, but I got
wow.
free drinks, free table, and all that stuff, right? But at that moment, the way I felt and the energy going through my body when you had the whole crowd out there, and mind you, I've DJed in front of a bunch of people, hundreds of people, but this one was different. I was like, I made it. This is it.
Wow.
This is
Wow.
it. And I count your blessings, right? As
Yes.
we talked about, and that was definitely a blessing I'll never forget. But I've Oracle nightclub, Embassy nightclub, Vanguard's where I got my name up. I had beauty bar my own nights, Monday nights. Tuesday I had turn up Tuesday at Vanguard. Wednesday I was at 21 Lounge. Thursday I was back at either Embassy or Oracle. Friday I was back at Vanguard. I did Commonwealth, the rooftop downtown.
You burning these streets up in Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
yeah. I felt like I was at that point, and then, like I said, life. I had a family. I started the metro stuff. Like I had to stop and put things on pause in order to, move forward with life. And I was just
Yeah,
at that season in life where I needed to focus on my future. And
yeah.
yeah.
And I don't think it's anything wrong with it. If my perspective is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you have the best of both worlds, meaning you still do what you do 9 to 5, but you get to do your passion work afterwards. And it's a lot of people, let me tell you, I see them personally and professionally that they only do what they have to do, and they've never got the opportunity to do their passion work. They've never got a chance to do it part time. They've said over and over and over again, oh, I'm going to do it when I get this. And before you know it, they're 85. And it still don't mean that you can't do it at 85, but they never got out there and do that. So you are really blessed.
Yes, beyond blessed, beyond blessed. I think, I definitely prayed about it, and my dreams are coming true. I love the whole I miss the clubs, I miss the lounges, but that all comes with sometimes bad stuff, So I'm content of where, what I'm doing, where I'm going and how I'm doing it. And yes, I'm beyond blessed to still have that opportunity to DJ and in positive ways. Like I think I told you already, but Cambridge Rec, I DJ'd that turkey drive and the job resource fair and all that. And I went outside with Jessica from Parks and Recs. We're explaining the instructions of how the line's gonna work and everything's gonna work. And I'm sitting there, and I almost got like PTSD. You have flashbacks of like in the movies where it's like someone's dreaming. I like paused for a second because I see a big old line out the door and around the corner. And I said, man, I remember this as a DJ, like walking into the club, right? Line will be like down the block around the club. And I'm like I'm doing this in a positive way now. And not to
Wow.
say that, in the club wasn't a positive way, but
Yes.
just it
It-
wasn't for the community. That's just more like people having fun and they're going out for the night. Like this is a positive way. Like I'm still DJing. I still got a line out the door. Like so I was like, this is what more can I ask for? What more can I?
I I really love how you were able to draw the conclusions that yeah, they were both aligned, but one aligned giving back to the community and the other line for people having fun. Both of them are needed because what DJs do, or let's just take it to the next level, what music do, it can take you out of your current reality for free and take you into another reality and help you elevate yourself. Um, because music has that frequency. Now, you do have some stuff that's garbage. Everybody
Mhm.
has garbage, but I'm not here to focus on that. I'm
Exactly.
here to focus on what music can do to lift the mind, body, and soul.
Listen, we ain't here for the distractions.
There you go. There you go. I'm gonna make a t-shirt because everybody said, "Oh, it's really horrible music out there." It is. It is.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I am not the Gestapo of music. I am the selector of music, meaning
Yeah.
I will select what I think is best for me, and I will share that, and hopefully that can encourage and uplift other people.
Speaking about that, I'll share something real quick. I used to, there used to be hours I can sit down on my computer and download music. I only can maybe if I'm serious about it, do like 30 minutes if that. And I got to close my laptop, move on, and then come back to it. But I used to sit down for hours and go through music and music and music. And now I just get bothered. I'm like, this is trash. This is trash. This is garbage. I definitely don't like, oh, this is cool. Right. And now you're like, trash, trash, trash. Oh, this is cool.
Hmm.
Like, damn.
No, no, that's the real reality. As much as you say that, that also pertains to me. I could be driving down the street and I have the radio on and something comes on that is totally, I said, this is will not be even in my spirit. I just shut it off and go. It's not fun. It's not
Word.
elevating. It's just something that just not works for me. But I think as you get older, you realize the presence of different things in your atmosphere and you choose that now. Let me be real. If I was out at the club having a drink and you hear something, maybe you may be more apt to listen to that. But I
Absolutely.
feel like I have choices. That's why I say I'm the selector. Selector, come down.
Hey, I feel that. I feel that.
So let's talk about you. You've done hip hop, you've done top 40, you've done pop, you've done R&B. I can go on and on and on. Is there your top three that you love to participate in?
As far as genres,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. I'm what you call as an open format DJ. And what an open format DJ is you can play whatever. So you can go from country music, you can go from hip hop to house music to rock to island reggae to salsa, merengue, bachata, reggaeton. I'm gonna have to go. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm from the Bronx. I'm
Oh,
originally Cuban, so I'm gonna have to go with reggaeton. It's definitely one of my, and it's crazy because you know what? I hate to say it, and I don't even know Spanish like that. You know what I'm saying?
listen.
But I know where I grew up, so and I'm gonna hit you guys with a little bit of knowledge. It's my last maybe last song, but anyways, but yeah, reggaeton's one. Hip hop. I love hip hop. You can't go wrong with hip hop. Um, that's two. Three, man, three is rough. Three, because I can go this route. That's why it's so hard for me because I love all types of music, but we'll do. It's probably gonna surprise you, but I say island reggae.
Okay, okay, right
I
on.
love it's just so chill, relaxing. I could throw that on and if I get the right song, shout out to Common Kings, Fiji, J Boog.
and
Like
we and we need to just say a big high elevation to Fiji. He
yes,
just
rest in peace.
passed.
Rest in peace, Fiji. Hey,
Yeah.
so see, I love island reggae. I just did an event with Kilocan Shrimp last Saturday, Eat the Streets at the Fantastic Market. I'll definitely get you a date on that so you can invite out and I'll get you the flyer and all that. But I'll be probably at the next one DJ and I play straight island reggae and hip hop R&B. It was an amazing event. They loved it.
Wow. I
So
love that.
yes, those are my three. I love hip hop, and you can mix them up if you want to put three and one and two and two, or three, however you want to do it.
Yes.
I can listen to all that.
I love that you mentioned the first one that you mentioned. You said I don't even speak Spanish. But let me say this, and I just need to tell the story. So, my place of business, I work for a government entity, and I was there late one night, right?
Yeah.
So, I was working and the lady came in to clean. So she didn't think anybody was back there. And she put on some music. Now, keep in mind, they spoke nothing but Spanish, but
Mm.
the beat was so, it sounded like My Girl. It sounded like, oh, I mean, and I was like, so she sees me, she go, I'm sorry. And she hurry up and turn it down like I'm going to say, I was like, no, no, no. I love it. I love it. I'm saying this for a reason. You may not know what they're saying, but if the beat or the energy and the vibration is right, you're gonna vibe with it.
Yeah.
It was a song years ago. I think the ladies were from Paris. They
Okay.
had the best beat. They had the best song. I didn't know what the hell they were saying, but I love what it is. So when you can connect spiritually, hey,
And you know what I feel like? Afro beat. I mean, I know you were talking about that. A lot of that I don't really understand, kind of like what they're saying. And a lot of it's English too, but like there's a lot of bangers that that are Afro beat and I love the rhythm, the vibe, the beat. It kind of gives you like a reggae vibe, but it doesn't and I love Afro beat. Love it.
yes, me too. Me too. So that just goes to show when the music is at a high frequency
Yes.
and you connect with it, it's going to
Mhm.
benefit you, period, point blank.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, may I ask this? So, you mentioned that you had a family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have children?
Yeah, so I have one child, Mateo is his name.
Oh,
He's 7 years old.
oh,
He's in
my favorite
second,
number.
yeah, he's in second grade. So and he plays baseball. I get to coach his baseball team as well. So that's another way I give back.
Wow.
um, and it's definitely not easy dealing with them 7 year olds. They're climbing the gate, they're kicking each other. I'm yelling at them. You know, I'm passionate about baseball too. I play baseball as well. I've been playing since I've been a young kid in New York all the way to here. I play on the Metro baseball team as well. So
Wow.
yeah, so we're about to fly out to Dallas in November. We're actually facing FDNY and NYPD.
Oh, wow.
They're in our tournament, so I can't wait. I'm gonna try to trade a jersey at least with NYPD because we're facing them.
Oh,
But
that'd be nice.
I can't wait. I can't. I'm so you don't understand how excited. I bought a new glove. I bought shoot. I'm doing it.
Oh, that's wonderful. I do want to go back and just talk about your dream of being a firefighter. If the cards were dealt and they say, hey, right now, today, you have the opportunity to apply, would you apply to be a firefighter?
100%. My brother is a firefighter in New York. Like I told you from the get go, when I was young, I used to run out to the street and I used to, man, I used to love it because they used to come around with Santa on the fire truck, and I used to be waving. And I was like, man, I seen they used to come out on calls, and at one point, I think where like, because I lived in the Bronx and I lived upstate New York, that part that I lived in upstate New York as well, they had volunteer firefighters, and every time they got like a call, these sirens will go off, kind of like tornado sirens. It's kind of scary, but you knew something was popping off. And whether it was in my neighborhood, they come by and they come out of the truck, they have the bunker gear, the helmets on, the gloves, and like they ready. Like I just, it interests me ever since then. Then when I went back in 2010, not only was I in one explorer group, but I was in two explorer groups.
Wow.
I was dead serious about this. Like I loved it, and when I was doing it, I felt like I was just I felt comfortable. I felt like I was in the zone. I loved it. Like I loved. I had my own bunker gear. We used to train at the firehouse. I had my own. Like we used to do blacked out face piece searches, and they turn off your air on your cylinder, and the face piece will suck to your face. You got to turn it back on. You got to take the cylinder off. You're crawling through things you can't see because in a fire you can't see,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So they try to make it as realistic as possible. So I'm learning all this hazmat stuff. I'm stretching a line, doing like car fires. What I mean, a line like a hose, turning out car fires. So the one explorer group was like paramilitary and learned medical stuff, and the other one was like train at the firehouse. We had our own bunker gear, and that was the cool one. And so every month we went once a month to the Rock, which is the academy in New York, the FDNY Academy. And so the other explorer group that wasn't as advanced would do like medical stuff, and then we'd be going up like aerial ladders, going into like rooms and doing like searches and pulling like dummies out. So these people, they would be pissed off that I was with this group rocking out and not with them. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
we getting to do this and we more advanced. Like I don't want to do all this stuff. So I loved it. I mean, I remember doing a confined space. Everyone was scared to do the confined space. I flew through that thing, flew through, and
Wow.
yeah. So it came natural. Like I loved it. And yes, if the cards were dealt right now, and you told me I had a chance to get into FDNY Academy, I'll do it.
Wow. Well, that just shows that that is something definitely a heartfelt passion that you have. And I'm glad you're able to use this as a platform because it is other people that, they have a passion for something, but they also have a passion for what they currently do. So thank you for being transparent about that.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about again you being a child and purchasing your first piece of music without anybody influence, meaning your mom, your daddy, your cousin. You like, I already know what I'm getting. You got birthday money, Christmas money, and you was like, this is what I'm getting. Can you identify a song?
So instead of a song, can I do an album? Because I
Absolutely.
back in the day, CDs were the thing, right?
Yes.
And there were several songs on this album, and the first one that came to mind, and we always talk about it, my brothers and I, was Nelly, Country Grammar, in 2000,
Oh,
in 2000. You can find me St. Louis, and all them songs on Country Grammar. I mean, bangers, and I that was my first CD that I purchased, and it was funny because my brother just got out of boot camp, back then. And he came back and we're playing the music and he's like, damn, what's this? And I was like, oh, this is Nelly, Country Grammar. I was like, you haven't heard it? I was like, look at this song. Boom. Look at this song. He's like, man, okay, okay. That was my first CD. First purchase. I purchased it. That was what I wanted. Nelly. It's crazy. But that's
Wow.
what it was.
Do you
No
play?
East Coast rapper, none like that. I was living in New York, no East Coast rapper. Like um it was Nelly. And it's crazy because my brother, before he left to the military or boot camp, he used to have the Hot 97 CDs that has like it would have songs from that were hot that month, and it have, but you know, like one Nelly song would be on there. But I was like, I want the whole album. So Country Grammar was it? And back in 2000.
Wow. Especially that says a lot that he really set the standards because New Yorkers usually stick with New Yorker stuff.
That's it.
So for you to say, hey, I wanted me some country grammar, it shows that he put it on the map.
Yep.
So speaking of that, can you give me a list of three of the songs from that CD that you really like stuck in your head that you played over and over again?
Yeah, yeah. What else? They got so they got Batter Up, Batter Up, Batter Up. I'm the first. I don't know all the lyrics, but I would have to listen to it, start rapping. But Batter Up. I believe Hot in Here was one, if I'm not mistaken. Or not, it was it Hot in Here? Yeah, I believe so. Um, and then let me see. I'm probably gonna have to cheat on this one.
It's all good.
Um, let's see, and I can tell you, I don't.
So while you're looking it up, let me just ask you, do you actually play some of those songs in your set when you see people are, vibing to Nelly?
Um, I do. I do. Oh, Ride with Me. If you
Okay.
want to take a ride with me, mama, what's popping in now? Actually, yeah, Batter Up. Um, yeah, you know what? Hot in Here wasn't even one, but you know what? And Ride with Me, I definitely do. I definitely do. St. Louis was a banger. That was the first one right off the rip. But yeah, Mama, No, I really, besides Ride with Me, maybe Batter Up once in a while, but other than that, no, I don't really play too many of those songs.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Hot in Here wasn't even one. But yeah, yeah.
But everybody knows that. I think that one has went through the ages. It's getting hot in
Yes,
here, so
yes,
take off all your
yep.
clothes.
Yeah,
I
that was
am.
one. Yep. Oh, I don't
Oh,
know
you,
who it is,
you need
but
to stop for a minute.
no, you're good. You're good. We keep going.
Okay. So let's talk about this wild card of music. And it's kind of probably hard for a DJ because you guys play everything, but it's something that's untraditional, is unexpected, or is unpredictable. Do you
Yeah,
have a song that they was like, man, you like that? Even though I thought Nelly was, you shocked me with that. But
yeah,
can you think of something or identify a song that is your wild card song?
yeah. I think my wild card song is I'm into church, and I go to church here and there, and I think there's a song called Nothing Else by Cody Carnes.
Mm.
And this one definitely, like, it hits home. Especially because, nothing else matters but God, especially when you're going through something like that. You just, if you get to listen to this song, listen to it and listen to the lyrics, it's amazing.
Can
Nothing
you
else
give us
matters.
a few of the lyrics?
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually just looking that up. Let's see. So I'm caught up in your presence. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep. So I'm gonna read it real quick. I'm caught up in your presence. I just want to sit here at your feet. I'm caught up in this holy moment. I never want to leave. Oh, I'm not here for blessings, Jesus. You don't owe me anything. More than anything you can do, I just want you.
Mm.
So I thought that was amazing. I love the whole song is amazing. And that means a lot to me. I mean, yeah, you can be going through, and I'm not perfect, yeah, I'm a cop, this and that, and people think, oh, you're a cop, have the best life, but I go through my own struggles, and when I feel like when I do, I turn on worship music, and that's one of my favorite music songs, and I think that's why, you asked what's some that like we wouldn't really know about, you or what you listen to, and I think that's one of the songs right there. Nothing else matters, because God has you, especially
Yes.
He's in control.
I love that. And I love that you were able to answer that because you're right. People will put you in a box because of what you do and think you don't have any issues or any challenges. But guess what? Life be lifing for all of us.
Hmm.
Your goal is to figure out how to maneuver through that and say, okay, I got through that. I'm stronger. I'm wiser. Matter of fact, it's a gospel song that say that I'm stronger. I'm wiser. I'm much better.
That's right.
So I agree. All of us have our challenges. So thank you for being transparent and just being more human because, again, people will say cops, no issues, or cops. And I have to bring this up, and I hope you don't mind that sometimes we do have some cops that are inhumane, do not do not support the people that they serve and don't have a heart of the people. And yes, you're going to deal with those segment of the population where they do challenge you and you have to be able to protect and serve, but it should be a balance. And we know we've seen those things from the Rodney King on to, go on and on
Absolutely.
from forever. My point is that we want people in the community in any capacity, whether it's cops, whether it's firefighters, whether it's public servants, to have a heart for the people they serve.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree. And I take that with me every time I go out. I don't forget where I came from and how hard it was to get the job and how easy it is to lose the job. So,
Yeah.
now that I've been in this community aspect, realm of policing, um, I know what it is to give back. I know what it is to see people suffer. I know what it is from an early age to see people that don't have anything to people that have everything. So I definitely try to keep that mindset every time I go out, no matter how hard the call is, or whatever the struggle is, or whatever that person is going through.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I'm a human just like you, with the uniform on or off. We
That's
all
right.
have feelings, so I'm here for you, and yeah, sometimes I'll pray with them. So
Listen, if your heart is called to do that, why not do that? And what you're doing, you're changing their mind, but also you're blessing the situation. So I'm all for that. I'm all for that. So before we get out of here, I want you to please, I have one more question about music, but before we get out of here, if my audience wants to get in touch with you or if anybody wants to book you or anything, can you tell us any and all of your social media handles? And if you have any gigs coming up, tell us about that as well.
yeah, absolutely. So you can find me. The easiest way to find me is on Instagram, and it's DJ Quez, Quez. So DJ Quez. And then just remember 23, like Michael Jordan. So DJ Quez 23. I love the number 23, obviously from Michael Jordan. And I've wore it throughout high school and now, and I love that number. But you can find me there, or just Justin Vasquez, Vasquez on Facebook. And please, if you want to hit me up for a gig, or you need to listen to my SoundCloud, it's just DJ Quez on my SoundCloud. And you can find me. You can't miss me. I should be in like a New York fitted hat like this, something like that. And I got a bunch of my mixes on there, so you can check that out. And then that's mainly my three social media platforms that I utilize on a daily basis. So
Awesome. Awesome. So before we get out of here, my last question regarding music. This season was, or currently is, my third season is about discovering you. Can you identify a song that you can dedicate to the world that you discovered about you and you can dedicate that to the world?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a hard one too. Um, but I figured, you know what? I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. This is a song from an early age, and I'm gonna explain. Let me explain the background before I even name the song. Um, this is a Puerto Rican what do you call it? A Puerto Rican heritage like hit home New York style song. And I'll say it, Mark Anthony Preciosa. And if you listen to this song at the end, it's like Yo te quiero Puerto Rico. And so it's saying I love Puerto Rico. And we're in New York. If you ever been to New York, they hang the Puerto Rican flags from one building to another building. You're wearing Puerto Rican bandanas, everything. Like this is what I grew up to. I grew up to salsa, bachata, all that, mainly salsa. And so there's a Three Kings Day in New York. It's the Puerto Rican one, and I forget the date on that. I think it's like somewhere in January or something like that. But we used to be in this hot small apartment in the Bronx, and it used to be packed. And I'm talking about like you can barely move, and they're cooking arroz con gandules, de pasteles, paparellenas, bacala frito, like everything. And it's so hot because they be cooking all day, and like it's just too many people in the apartment. It's tight part, and they got the window open. It's freezing outside. It's January, right? But it's still hot, so you have your head out the window trying to get some air. And I'm trying to paint the picture for you guys so you can understand like how I grew up and what I grew up to. And so here comes the music portion, right? You got Theo, all right, or Abuelo. He has the congas. I don't know if you know what the congas are, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so they got the congas, the maracas, right? And then they got the little thing that like it's you slice on it. Like everyone got an instrument. I don't care if you got the maraca, someone got a maraca down the hallway over here or like whatever in the kitchen. But they would always play this song, and I'm telling you, I got goosebumps because like where Puerto Ricans are passionate about the ethnicity and where they come from, and Mark Anthony really puts on for the Puerto Ricans. And when that part comes up, Yo te quiero Puerto Rico, and if you get a chance, listen to the song. I'll send it to you. But that's something that I inherited from a young age, and that's what I grew up to. As I mean,
I,
a packed apartment, we jamming, people on the congas playing to the music, and you got Puerto Rican flags. Everyone got a Puerto Rican flag, Puerto Rican shirt, and they flying it, showing
repping, huh?
repping. Like it ain't no joke. So
So you know what? Because you have painted this picture and you've given us not only the background and what how the feel is, you gotta give us, you just said a little bit, you gotta give us a little bit more of the song. I know I can download it, but I want to hear you sing a little bit more of it.
shoot, I wish I could
In
sing
your
it, but
native, just in the language, because you and how you sing it, I want you to do it like that.
I could can I like translate it for you real quick so you have like a better understanding?
You don't have to translate it. You can say it like you say it. They can look it up.
Yeah. So I mean, remember, I don't know Spanish, so I
Oh,
can't even go in like that. But
okay.
like for instance, like some of the I will be Puerto Rican. I will be Puerto Rican wherever I walk. Oh, because I have it in my blood, my
Mm.
inheritance from parents, and with the pride I repeat, I love you, Puerto Rico. I love you, Puerto Rico. That's where he's saying Yo te quiero, Puerto Rico, and this is why I was born today. I dedicate this song to him and the novel Little Boy or Fell. Yeah, so it goes again, and I'm telling you, when that part comes on, everyone's jamming, and they got the flat, and it's a salsa beat almost, and everyone's dancing salsa. They're spinning people around, like it's it's a vibe, and if you get to ever experience it, man,
I would love to experience it, and I love Mark Anthony. I love what he do. I feel like every time he do anything, it's with so much
passionate.
passion,
Yep,
and he just has that heart of the people. So if he's a great representative of that song, I can see that. I mean, Wow.
And
And
if you ever see me rocking Puerto Rican flag or anything, or at the Puerto Rican festival here, like, you know why? That's what I grew up to. This is what, like, I'm from New York. I'm from the Bronx. Like, this is where I was raised, and that's it's in my blood. Although I don't. It's sad that I don't know Spanish like that. I understand a little bit, and I love, 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 love Puerto Rico. I don't know if you ever been, but if you get a chance, go to San Juan, and my family's from Carwas, but we used to go out there every summer. My parents be like, "All right, y'all need to go. It's the summertime. We need a break." And me and my brother be out there trying to communicate with these kids and playing baseball and eating, good Puerto Rican food. And
mm,
yeah, it's just that was the vibe. That's what I grew up to. And yeah, I'm so blessed to DJ now and know all these salsa songs that when it comes down, like, hey, yo, you got salsa? Can you play some salsa? I say, what? Someone try to challenge me to playing salsa, like, oh, you don't know Spanish, but can you even play salsa? And I rocked it. So I
see.
knew what to play, and I still, although I don't, know Spanish, I still know what the bangers are. I still know. I grew up to all that, and when you grow up to all that, it comes like, it comes easy.
Mm, I love that you are, because listen, can't nobody tell me about the pride and the love that I have for me and mine. So I love anybody that has that for them and theirs. And
Absolutely.
collectively, we are all connected at the end of the day, regardless of what anybody say. You're gonna have that side that say, oh, F this, that. But when it's all said and done, we're all connected. And I love anybody that has the pride of who they are.
That's
So
it. That's it.
shouts out to you, or as my thing, pew, 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 pew.
That's funny because all my friends, I got cop buddies that do it because I have I don't know if you heard at the youth event, we have little samples on the DJ like sampler, and one of it is a horn, just like that. And, beep, 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 and all my buddies be like, beep, 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 beep. So you doing that, that's funny.
That's my favorite thing to do. I'll say it with my mouth. Beep, 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 beep. So we're on the same page. First, I just want to say before I get out of here, I talk about the journey and the destination. The journey is where we learn and where we grow. The destination is where we celebrate. Far too often, we're in a journey and we don't go and celebrate. And when you don't celebrate, you don't appreciate. You always got to celebrate. Just like how you guys, you painted the picture in New York, you celebrate and you say it's a vibe. It got to be a vibe.
That's it.
But we can't do it always. We got to get back into that journey when the time comes so we can continue to learn, to continue to elevate, and we'll get a chance to go back into that time to celebrate again. But I say all of that to say, for my women that come on, I bow to them. To the men, I salute. So I salute you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I would like to, I always try to give my guests the last words. So last words go to you. Is there anything that you would like to share or say before we get out of here?
Yeah, absolutely. I know I didn't touch on your question. If I'll be at Boca Park Pink Box tomorrow spinning, it's for thank a cop. So if you come out, you see any cops, definitely thank them, excuse me, for what they do. And then I'll be spinning, I'll be in the mix. So if you want to catch me, eat the streets, follow them on Instagram. I'll be, I hopefully I can get that gig down, and I don't see it being a problem. And then just be on the lookout for me. Like I said, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and just stay up with me. Let's
Yes.
rock. And if you want to come out and vibe with me, let's do it. And if you want to learn how to DJ, let's do it. I'll teach you the ropes. But thank you so much for having me. This is awesome. This is my first podcast. Hopefully I did well. And it's exciting too, because like we're not even in person. I can only imagine if we're in person, the whole vibe, right? But we're doing through Zoom, and I think this is amazing. So thank you for having me. Thank you for this opportunity, and hopefully I look forward to working with you, on future events.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so, so very much for saying yes. I truly, truly appreciate it, because you could be doing something else on your Friday and you said yes to me. So I'm thankful for that. I appreciate you being transparent, sharing your background, sharing your desires, your dreams, and what you do as a DJ and an officer, and also your love for being, I'll just say your love of being a firefighter. I love that. I love that, because when we tell our dreams and our perspective, we don't know who we're encouraging. That's what I say, my invisible cue. So
Right.
I thank you so very much. Audience, I want everybody to please put their hands together for Mr. Justin Vasquez.
Thank you.
And I got your name right this time. I'm sorry.
You did. That was perfect. That was perfect.
Well, as I say to all my guests, I'll see you out here in these Las Vegas streets.
That's right. That's right. I'll see you guys out there. I'll see you soon too as well.